Welcome back, everyone, to episode 40 of Against the Call. Today, we have a super stacked lineup for you. First is going to be our interview with Kayla Holden from the University of Tennessee women's golf team. Super excited to have her on. We're going to have our college football spring games recapped. We're going to have a new segment, Alternate Reality. Who would be me and Mike's team if we went based off the champions of the year that we were born? We're going to have another new segment called Day Job, where we're going to be looking at SEC head coaches and saying what jobs we think they'd have if they weren't head coaches in the SEC. We're also going to have around the league NBA playoffs, around the league NHL playoffs, the countdown with the best multi-sport athletes of all time, USA versus Mexico soccer friendly, our Mount Rushmores of the best women golfers of all time. Maybe Kayla Holden will be on there somewhere. Then we're going to have our draft day, all things dogs draft, and then we're going to have our post game. So, Kayla, thank you so much for joining us today. How's your day going so far?
Thanks. I'm really happy to be on and happy just to talk about my experience and UT in general because a little biased, but I do believe it is the best place in the nation. So again, thanks for having me on, but I'm doing well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And what you got to know about Kayla, during her high school career, she won 3 consecutive BCAA championships, shot 72 out of 72 at the 2019 state championship, and was second individual and seventh overall, ranked second overall in all classes, regions, and districts in the FHSAA 2019. And me and Mike know a lot about the FHSAA. We're both born in Florida. We are from Lakeland, Florida, and you're from Port St. Lucie, right?
Yes, I am. From Port St. Lucie, so around the West Palm Beach, Jupiter area, but born and raised, so I'm a Florida girl at heart.
Yeah, and Jupiter area, that's kind of big area for golf. So makes a lot of sense. I'm seeing the connection there. One of the first questions I have for you, you had a tremendous high school career. What was or what was the University of Tennessee your first choice for going to college?
Yeah, so growing up, I didn't really have a family school or anything like that. We hadn't cheered for anyone. We surprisingly weren't big Florida fans or anything like that. There wasn't any rivalries in my house. But golf was always the staple, and I knew I wanted to play college golf. I got started in the game a little bit late from a competitive standpoint. I started playing in tournaments when I was about 13. So when the whole college process started, I was really unsure with what I wanted. Didn't have anywhere in mind. Once my recruiting process got started, I was reached out to from a couple schools, Tennessee being one of them. I went on a visit to another school, and then Tennessee was the second school that I visited. And like I said, I had no idea what I wanted, but as soon as I stepped on campus here, it was everything that I wanted. So I just fell in love with the complete package here. They really had everything.
That's
So
awesome. What other school did you visit before that?
I actually visited Florida. So I went there and it was the first school I had seen. So in the moment, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this place is really, this is it. Like I got a taste of a D1 SEC school. And I knew from there that I wanted to stay in the SEC, of course. Staying close to home wasn't really a big objective. It would have been nice, but it wasn't the main goal. I just wanted to go somewhere where I knew I would really fit in and that it would be a place that I could grow both as a player and as a person. And this place checked all those boxes.
So better than UF. We've already we've said that for a while now. She came to the right side. But Michael, what do you got to ask?
So my first question is, what made you get into golf? What made you start playing golf?
Yeah, so I've been around the game my whole life, fortunately, because of my dad and his career in the game. He was a golf pro, and then he was actually the pro at Bernhard Langer's club down in Boca. So he built a friendship with Bernhard, and he would start spending time with Bernhard when his coach, Willie Hoffman, was back in Germany. And my dad would help him out and would start giving him lessons when Willie wasn't there. And then they built a friendship, asked my dad to come caddy for him. and he started caddying for him full time, and he did that for 7 years full time. But that connects to me because I grew up sort of in the professional golf world. My entire family has always played. My mom's been an avid player her whole life, but my dad was really the staple and was the reason why I fell in love with it. And he, after caddying, started a charity on tour called Caddy for a Cure, which was a nonprofit, and it provided people with the opportunity to go caddy for a Ricky or a JT on a Wednesday pro-am. So that was my entire childhood, and I immediately fell in love with the game, and just the whole journey. And being surrounded by professional golf really shows you how cool golf can be. Um, so, like I said, though, they wanted me to pick it up myself and didn't want to force me into it. So it just so happened that when I was around 13, I kind of got the golf bug, and the rest is history.
Being around professional golfers, man, that'll definitely get your mind going. And I don't know if you guys could see my reaction. Bernhard Langer is actually my favorite golfer of all time. I'm not even joking about that. It goes Bernhard and then Tiger. So that makes me really happy to hear. And one of my questions right after that would be, you growing up, kind of going to all these professional events and stuff like that. What was the coolest place that you got to travel to as a kid growing up?
Oh, immediately I have to say Riviera, out in LA. That place is just awesome. I would travel with my parents a lot to different tournaments, and I would miss a lot of school when I was growing up. Just going with them to do work with them, and I always got to pick one trip that I could go on by myself with my dad, and I would always pick LA. So I fell in love with that place.
Mike, we got to check this place out at some point. All the golfers we have on are in love
Definitely.
with Rivera.
They really are.
We got
You
to
have to
go.
go.
We have to. Um, my next question will be, you are at the University of Tennessee. What are you majoring in?
I am a sport management major. Yeah, with a business minor.
Awesome. So what do you plan on doing? Do you plan on going to LPGA at all? Or
Yes, I do. I plan to turn pro after school. I want to pursue my playing career. It's been a dream of mine for as long as I can remember, and I'm a firm believer in going as far as you can and trying to just do the most that you can in this game. It's an amazing game of a lifetime. So I do plan to turn professional. But whenever my playing career is over, I want to stay in the game, of course. And whether that be teaching or being a head pro or doing anything in the game, really, I'm totally all in with that.
it's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, my next question is, what's the best golf experience you've had in your career?
Oh, wow. Um, it's hard not to say from a being a golf fan, going to the Masters, of course, that's always a fun time, fun experience. I'm very fortunate to have been able to go a few times, but from more of a playing side and as in my own life, I would say winning the Sea Island Women's Am this past summer was really a kind of a monumental moment in my golf career, and it really proved to me like that I am capable of doing big things, and I am capable of winning, because it's hard. You obviously you don't win every week, and we put in so much work, and so many hours and just a lot of time and effort, and we make a lot of sacrifices. So to see things pay off, it's really fun. But I would say that for the personal thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, and with that, we got to ask, what's the most like biggest thing that you miss about Florida? What's the best thing that you miss about it?
Oh, I would it's hard not to say being with my family. I'm really close with my parents, and we're a tight family for sure. We're small, it's just the three of us. I do have two brothers, but they're moved out and doing their own thing. So I would say just being able to spend time with my family. And my dad is my swing coach. He's been my coach since I got started. So being able to spend time with him and just enjoy the Florida weather.
And as a kid, I mean, you had your dad as kind of an inspiration and the
Mhm.
GOAT Bernhard Langer, obviously. But did you have a favorite golfer other than them growing up?
Ricky Fowler, 100%. Um, it was hard not to have him be my favorite when he would wear his wild colors and everything and the flat bills. It was a solid look. So definitely him.
When you get to the LPGA, are you gonna do a little bit of that? Or?
Mm, I'm not sure if I'll go that far. I'll definitely have a huge power tee on my bag, but I don't think I'll be able to pull off the colors.
The power T in the LPGA,
Yes,
that we need to see more of that for sure,
we
right
do. We
here.
need to see a Lady Vol logo. That would be
Hopefully.
awesome.
Michael?
Well, one of my next questions is, do you casually play golf on the side, or do you just do it when you are practicing or in a tournament?
Oh, I 100% am a casual golfer as well. I love golf in general, just being able to go play with friends, um, chipping competitions with friends, putting, anything. I'm always down for it, and I love being able to go play whenever I can.
Now, did you play any other sports other than golf in your life?
Um, Not really. I didn't take anything seriously. When I was little, I did like gymnastics or something super small that I would participate like in a class, but nothing seriously. Golf was pretty much my thing. Yeah,
Would you say it runs in the family a little bit?
it definitely does. It definitely does. Because my brother actually, he played baseball and he got drafted by the Pirates, and he was with them in their organization for about 6 years. And after he got out of baseball, he obviously was a big, strong, tall guy, pitcher, and he could always hit the ball super far. So he got into long drive, and he did that for a while. He hit it 450 in Mesquite at the Remax World Long Drive, and so now he's a golf pro up in New York. So it definitely runs in the family.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Out of all the
it's
places,
so much fun when the three of us get to go play at home. That's
oh
something I
yeah.
miss for sure.
Do you
Is
take it
having
easy? Do you take it easy on them?
no, I can't. It's too competitive between the three of us.
One of my next questions I have for you is, out of all the courses you played at, what is your favorite course?
Hmm, it's a really good question. Let me think. I played Wingfoot over the summer with my brother, actually. That was a really cool place.
Mhm.
Um, I would either say somewhere up north or out in California in Palm Springs. There's a place called Bighorn.
Mhm.
Um, that's that's a pretty fun place.
Oh wow.
I bet.
Awesome
Yeah.
places you got to play at for sure. And growing up, you got to see a lot of cool places. And another thing about her, she's a really cool golfer. Uh, Freshman year at UT, you won the SEC Co-Freshman of the Week after the Gators Invitational, finishing in a tie for sixth place in your second collegiate tournament. So I got to ask, how was that feeling of receiving that honor?
So a little backstory on that tournament and kind of connecting back to when I visited Florida. I fell in love with it when I was there because it was, of course, the first place I had visited, and I thought that it was just amazing. And I knew that I always wanted to play in the Gator, no matter what. I didn't know what school I was going to be at. I wanted to play in that tournament, and just being from Florida, of course, you get the vibe. So when we went there, and I was obviously now representing Tennessee, I was so excited to be there because I had played that course many times before in like other qualifiers and whatnot, USAM stuff. And so being able to do that and play well there and just be really comfortable at a place that I was familiar with, it was awesome. And then being able to represent Tennessee is always an honor. So it was really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to ask this. This is on the top of my head. If you could root for a team in Florida, what would it be?
Oh, oh my gosh, that's a tough question. Um, Man,
Because I go to UCF. I don't know if you can.
yeah, yeah. I don't have anything against UCF.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. I guess because I feel like I would have to pick Florida because they're SEC, but the
The rivalry, though. The
The
rivalry.
rivalry is too strong that I don't think it's possible.
Is there any like
Yeah.
is there any like little chip in that happens between you and the other Florida golfers at any point?
No, I'm actually good friends with some of them, so there's no rivalry with the girls, just with schools.
Yeah, yeah. Do you
Yeah.
ever with the friends that with the girls that you are friends with that play for the
Mm.
Gators, did you send them a little text during the football season when we won?
No, but I have other friends from high school that went there, obviously, non-athletes, and we would poke fun at each other because for my freshman year, we were really bad at football, obviously. This was like our breakthrough year. And so everybody would send me messages saying, "Oh, you guys stink, you guys are no good, whatever." But we came through. So
Most
that was a fun
definitely.
game.
Yeah, and while we're just on the topic of this, did you go to any Tennessee sporting events this past season?
Yes, I went to the Florida game. I was able to go to a few football games. I was not there for the Bama game or the Kentucky game, which was really heartbreaking. We were traveling at tournaments, but we try and go to as many games as we can. The student athlete community around here is really close, and we see each other every day. So you're able to grow a lot of friendships, and it's fun to be able to go support your friends and watch them do well, especially with the state that our athletic department is in right now. It's really awesome to be able to go support everyone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Back to your career though. In your sophomore year, you led the Lady Vols at the Valspar Augusta Invitational, finishing tied for 38. So what did leading this team as just a sophomore mean to you?
Yeah, it's a really cool honor, and it's a cool just experience that I get to have. It's awesome being able to be considered a leader on our team. I've always felt like I had strong leadership qualities just in my work ethic and the way I kind of go about my life, not just from a golf standpoint, but in all areas. So it's always nice to be able to be the leader of the pack, and just try and guide the team in the right direction, because at the end of the day, it's all about the team's success and wanting to do the best that we can.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael,
Yeah. Well, when you play, how big of a factor do you think mental toughness is?
Oh, I'd say 90 to 95% truly. The game is 90% mental, if not more. We work really hard on our mental game, and when we say it's 90% of the game, but yet so many people don't practice it. You would think, okay, if it's 90%, then you should be practicing it 90% of the time, but it's backwards most of the time. We always practice 90% physical stuff and hardly any of our mental games. So we've really tried to implement that this year. And we're working with a mental coach and just being able to develop a plan and learning how to tackle situations on the course.
would you say that part of practicing your mental game would be to not look at social media and read the news and the sports world and stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely think that social media has become a possible detriment to a lot of people, especially athletes, just with how many mean people there are out there and how many terrible things people have to say. And it's hard because most people don't realize like our schedules and our lives and kind of what we have to do just on a daily basis to kind of get through our day. So I think to answer your question, yes. I personally have not had a difficult time, like with social media or facing certain people or certain comments. It kind of helps being a little bit of a smaller team. We're not the baseball team, we're not the basketball team, so we don't have as many followers. But I definitely think taking a break from social media, if you're at tournaments or something, say deleting Instagram for the weekend, it can be really helpful.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. One of
Michael.
my next questions I had for you was, what do you love most about this game?
Mm. I think I would say the places that it can take you. you can go all over this world playing golf. It's incredible, really, all the places that you get to travel. And then as you get to travel to those places, the people that you meet, it's just incredible how many connections you can make, how many friendships you build, the camaraderie. But I think all of that goes back to the traveling.
Mhm.
Who's been the coolest person that you've met while traveling?
Hmm. I don't know if I'd be able to pinpoint anyone in particular,
Just
but
like
I
a
can
few,
say that what?
just like a few of them. If
Yeah.
there's a few of them.
Uh, I think a lot of those people would be my teammates, quite honestly, because we have a very diverse team. We have a girl from Thailand, a girl from Venezuela, a girl from Canada, Italy, and Germany. So while I didn't necessarily meet them traveling, they traveled here, and they're people that I never would have expected to meet. It's incredible being able to be surrounded by so many different cultures. Um, but I've obviously gotten to play with a lot of people just traveling for tournaments. Not as many people that I've built long friendships with, but just people from all over the world that I've met.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. And as I was looking through the roster, very diverse. I love seeing it. And on top of that, if you want to get more diverse, you had a person transfer from the University of Alabama. So, shout out to her for that. That's
yes.
got to be a culture shock for sure. That's awesome to see. But back to your sophomore year, you wrapped up the Icon Invitational with a score of 217, scoring the lowest round of your career with a 69. I got to ask, did you wake up that morning feeling great?
It was fun for sure. That was the day that we played 36. So most of our tournaments we play 36, 18. And the first day, which was rounds one and two, were the days or was the day that I shot those two scores. So that was really fun. It's a great golf course. I love that place. But it was fun having my parents there, of course, and then the team played well also, so it was fun.
Did you feel it in the air that you were going to have your best game yet? Was it out there?
I don't know. That place is pretty windy, so I guess you could say yeah in a way.
It was in the wind for sure.
Yeah, it was in the wind in
Um,
Houston.
so you're in your junior year right now. And this year you notched a top 25 finish at the Illinois Women's Invitational at Medina, tied for 23rd, super outstanding, shooting an under four overall. Just take us through that tournament for you.
Yeah, I had never been to Medina before. I knew a lot about it just with all of the championships that they've held there. A lot of really cool history and just cool background. It was in Chicago. I'd also never been to Chicago, so that was fun. But I just loved that place. It was a really good layout for us. Great for our team and great for kind of our game plan. But it was in fantastic shape, and I just had a lot of fun being there. I was playing great at the time. I was ready to go do well with the team, and we were fortunate to be able to do that.
Yeah, you played outstanding. And did you try deep dish pizza in Chicago?
We did. I'm slightly in charge of the food when we go to tournaments. I take it very seriously. So I told coach, I said, Coach, please, we need to go have some pizza. Like she didn't know that Chicago pizza was like a thing. And I said, we have to go do this. And we had a fun time.
A deep dish or New York style? Which one's better?
Ooh.
Hmm. I might have to go New York style. The deep dish was really good, but it was a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah,
It
it's a
was pretty
lot.
serious.
We
Yeah.
asked we asked the serious questions at Against the Call for sure. But what I will say
It's a
that
deep topic.
very deep. That does kind of lead me into one of my next questions though, actually. What's it like to play for head coach Diana Cantu? Is that how you pronounce it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Diana Cantu.
Cantu, yeah.
Um, it's really cool. This is her second year here. She actually played here for our prior coach. So it's cool to have her full circle moment. But after playing here, she was the assistant coach at Baylor, and then she went on to be a head coach at Maryland. So she had a really great career there at Maryland, and she was able to really grow the program. And she took them to nationals her last year there. So it's cool to be able to have not only a former Lady Vol, but someone with a great playing career and someone who's had a lot of coaching experience as well. She was the Arnold Palmer Cup coach for 2 years. So she was the assistant and then the head coach. So really cool just to have her and have her knowledge and just have her really build this program into what it should be.
Yeah, she's doing an amazing job. Only her second year there. Um, what is a drill at practice that she gives you that you just hate?
Oh, I think the one that comes to my head right away is we have this one, we just call it a driver drill, but you have 10 balls and you have to pick like a 25 to 30 yard wide fairway out on the range or somewhere. And you have to hit the drive there, obviously, but then you have to go make a 4-footer. And so if you miss the 4-footer, you have to start the drill over completely. So it's a little bit it can be time consuming. But it helps us to like, calm our heart rate down and get better at those.
That's a part of that mental practice too.
Oh, for sure. That is definitely mental practice.
Michael?
Well, my next question I have, whether it's casual or in a tournament, what's the best game you've ever played?
I've my lowest score is 65. I was playing down in Miami somewhere. That was fun. But yeah, 65.
Wow, that's super good. Miami too. The weather. It was in the weather that day.
It's just Florida.
Yeah, was there a specific golf course just in Florida that you loved playing at?
So when I'm at home, I actually play at PGA Golf Club, and that's just a fantastic place. They have 3 courses there, so it's great to be able to have a variety. Most places, if you play the same course all the time, you get used to it, but being able to have 3 completely different courses to call my home places or my home courses are pretty awesome. And the practice facility is just incredible. But I've played quite a lot of golf across Florida, so I've been to a lot of places there.
I bet. Hey,
Yeah.
can you take us through a day in the life as a college golfer at the University of Tennessee?
Yeah, so on a day where we'll say a day we have workouts are at 6:30, and then we go down to Smokies, which is our athlete dining. Great place. Awesome. And then normally have class 9:45 to 11. Then go back to Smokies and grab some lunch, and then usually head to the facility around noon, 1 o'clock. And if we have practice, our practices are normally 2.5 to 3 hours, just with our 20-hour NCAA weeks. Like that's the hour allowance. And then I'll usually stay a little bit longer than that, and then go home, make some dinner, and then do homework. And then we get to do the whole thing over again the next day.
6:30. Are you the type of person to set one alarm or like 10 alarms to get up?
I'm a one alarm person. I force myself to get up right away because I know if I don't, I'll be laying there for a while.
Forget to hit snooze, the re-snooze, and then you just
Exactly. Like you just have to do it. Just wake up.
Now, is there a punishment if you're late to practice?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
Never
I
done
would,
it. Yeah.
no, I've never done it. I hope it never happens, but we do have kind of like a little point system that we do. Just we accumulate points through if you win a drill, or like if we're doing a chipping drill and you do the best, or a putting drill or something, and we accumulate points that way. So, and then if once you get to a certain number of points, you can like get some Nike gear or something like that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I would assume you lose a lot of points.
That or the driver drill for 5 hours.
Oh my goodness. It'll do it to you.
Well, I have two more questions for you. My first one is, do you like playing mini golf?
I love playing mini golf.
Well, that leads right into my next question. When you're playing friends or family, do you take it easy, especially on your friends, because you said you don't take it easy on your family? Do you take it easy on them?
I'd like to think I do, but I don't. Just because I hate losing. I'm very competitive, so I don't want to lose. And, it's hard because I don't want to take it too seriously. I'm like, okay, I play golf, so I don't need to do anything crazy. But then it's like, okay, you have to win. So, yes.
Have you ever used that excuse? I just let you win. Like,
No,
no excuses. All right.
no excuses.
I would have said I'd let you
Can't.
win. Got
Yeah.
it.
I play collegiate golf, so obviously I let you win.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Other than being really good at mini golf, do you have any hidden talents?
Um, I don't know. Let's see. I really enjoy cooking and like baking and everything. That's been probably the best part about living in an apartment compared to living on campus is being able to cook for myself. Um, so if you want to call that a hidden talent,
All
maybe.
right, yeah, yeah, of course. Cooking
Definitely.
is a talent. Guys
Yeah.
like me and Michael, we're not so great at it. So it's
Can't.
that
I'm
can
not good
definitely be a talent for sure.
at it.
Um, and speaking of loving to cook, what is your go-to meal after a match?
Mm. So on our 36 whole days, it really takes it out of you. Like it knocks you down. And most of the time we'll either have dinner at the course or we'll go out to dinner. But say if we go out to dinner, definitely a lot of carbs, a lot of bread or pasta or something like that. Lots of vegetables because got to get your nutrients in somehow. And then, of course, a really good protein source. So
Yeah.
I tend to pick steak over chicken. So yeah,
Little bit more pricier, but that's fine.
exactly. It's
And
okay. It's okay.
so you said earlier that you kind of are in charge of the food sometimes, right? Are you the one that's looking up like all the locations nearby to get some food after a match? Yeah.
Yes, I am most definitely that person. I try and find what's closest. Coach always, if we're flying somewhere and we get there, they go to get the rental cars and we have to gather all the bags and put them outside. She'll always make sure that I'm in charge of picking lunch.
That's great. Honestly, that is awesome. And with you getting into the mental mood before a game, do you have a pre-game playlist?
Mm.
Surprisingly, no. I actually don't listen to music when I'm warming up. I think it doesn't distract me. I just like to be very focused in what I'm doing and in my routine and my plan and everything. So I don't have a pre-round playlist, but we do kind of have some pre-round hype songs that sometimes we'll listen to in the car. So like I said, one of my teammates is from Venezuela, and so she has gotten me into some Latin music, and she's gotten the whole team into it. So always some Bad Bunny. Um, we we really like Bad Bunny.
That's who I thought she was hinting at, and I was right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bad Bunny, he's got some bangers out
Let's
there.
get you
he really
hyped.
does. So,
Is the car bumping on the way there? Or
yeah, so funny story. Last year at SEC's, we had made it to match play and we started our first match, had to stop for darkness, came back the next morning. And when we came back the next morning, we were getting ready to go. We were in the van. And at the time, our song was Pepas. I'm sure you guys have heard
Yep.
that
Yeah.
song. Um, and so we were playing it, and our academic advisor was there, and she obviously was in a different car, and she was outside the van, and we had it so loud, and the van was rocking so hard. It was absolutely hilarious.
It's a great song.
So, yeah, it was a good song.
The
It
whole
got us ready
van
to
was
go.
rocking.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
sight.
I just got a few more questions for you, just two more. Um, who is your favorite teammate?
Wow, you guys are brutal. I, I think I would have to say I'm closest with my Venezuelan teammate, who's also one of my roommates, because we came in together freshman year, same year, and we lived together freshman year. So, and it was just the two of us. So we really got to bond with each other and build that friendship because, coming to college is a very unique experience and it's hard to adjust to living on your own and everything. And we were able to grow closer through that. And now living together off campus, and we've just gotten so close. We have a lot of games, a lot of competitions at
Mhm.
practice. We always go out to eat together. We just are always doing something together. So that's, I would have to say Vanessa.
Yeah, it's a hard question. It really is, but my favorite teammate is Mike, so it's not that hard to say it
Yeah,
sometimes, whoever you're closest to, like you said. I love that. I love that you were able to give us that answer. I'm sure you love all your teammates
I
equally.
do. And
That
they know that.
Yeah, exactly. That's obvious.
Yes.
Our last question for you today, Kayla, would be what are some goals that you hope to achieve in your senior year at UT?
Yeah. Off the bat, I would totally say for a team, we want to make a run at the national championship. Obviously, our postseason isn't done right now, so that could happen this year as well. But being able to go as far as we can at nationals is a for sure big team goal. I would also say tackling SECs. Um, we played well last year, didn't play our best this year, but that's something we really want to accomplish, and we know that we're capable of it. And I think the position that our team will be in next year will set us up to do that. I also want to, of course, uh, win an event. I really would love to win our home event. That would be awesome. Or, of course, any event, but in particular, our home event would be really cool. And just being able to really do the most that we can. I don't think we've reached our full potential yet in the slightest. So being able to ball out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and you've already become the leader, even just your sophomore year. So whenever you're a senior, the top dog, ready to bring it on, ready to have all the goals, ready for the team, where to eat at, all that good stuff. So
Exactly.
Kayla, that's gonna do it for our interview with you. We just want to say thank you so much for coming on, and we wish you all the best of luck in the SECs next year, whenever you get to the national championship next year, and on top of that, your career in the LPGA and whatever comes after that. We wish you all the best, and we can't wait to keep up with you, see where it goes, see you on TV very soon, especially in the LPGA. Whenever I see you holding a trophy or something, that'll be cool. But other than that, Mike, do you have anything else you want to say?
That's it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
No, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Well, everyone, that was Kayla Holden from the University of Tennessee women's golf team. We're going to jump right in to our first segment, college football spring games that happened this past week. There's still a few that have to get done, and we're not going to be able to cover every single one of them that happened because there's a lot to unravel here, but we got a few of the main ones that we want to talk about. One of the first ones we're going to talk about is Tennessee because not only am I a fan, but I was there at the game, so I think that I could give a little bit of a good analysis on kind of what happened. And we're going to cover the UCF spring game. Of obviously, we're big UCF guys here. We have a lot of good UCF guests on. If you guys haven't already, check out the interview with Austin Heff. We kind of covered it a little bit. We're going to talk about the Florida spring game, the Georgia spring game, and the Ohio State spring game. So let's just jump right into the Tennessee spring game. So the first thing you got to know, Mike, and for the listeners, Joe Milton, who is presumably the starter of the football team this upcoming season, he threw 9 of 13 for 79 yards and one touchdown. Not that big of a stats. This whole game was more defense than anything, truly. and at the same time, like me and other fans, I think that we're definitely believing that they weren't pulling out all their weapons. Like they weren't going deep all the time, like using Joe Milton's arm. They don't want to reveal all the play calling during their spring game. And obviously, all the spring games that we talk about, no overreactions. We can overreact if we want to, but I will say never overreact about a spring game because at the same time, Nico, who I cannot pronounce his last name correct yet, he had he went 8 of 16 with 112 yards. I don't know if you've seen the clip, Mike, but he had an amazing throw to Ethan Davis, and Ethan Davis is also a freshman, and that throw was just incredible. It was
Were you
right.
hype?
Say what?
Were you hype?
Oh yeah, it was a very hype moment. And I'm not gonna lie, this spring game was quite boring. Like I think that most spring games truly are. It's just kind of the quarterback when they're running, it's just two-hand touch. Like there's no sacking of the quarterback, so it's kind of just I saw it perfectly said the other day. It's like dress rehearsal. Like you get dressed up, ready to rehearse, and there's nothing much to these games, but it is good to cover it because that's really the only college football that's truly happening right now, and it's going to be a great season. But the guy who stood out the most in the spring game, and this is why I say never to overreact about stuff, was our third stringer, Gaston Moore. He was 8 of 11, 94 yards, and 2 touchdowns. At one point, he had more touchdowns than Nico and Joe Milton as a third stringer. So that's obviously why I'm like, let's like chill out. There's people behind me like, yo, who is this guy? Like, oh my gosh, he could be the starter. I'm like, you're insane. You don't know college football at all. Like, that's crazy.
I
Um,
think they have a point.
but I will say, this spring game at Tennessee was beyond packed, and I was there, and I can most definitely confirm it was crazy. There was over 56,000 people at a spring game, and the Tennessee players were loving it. Brought the hype, brought the crowd. It was something spectacular. But then we're going to talk about the running backs. Selden had 10 carries, 45 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. He also had 3 receptions for 43 yards. Outstanding performance. Dylan Sampson, who was, a freshman last year, now he's a sophomore. He played very well during this game. During last season, but this game kind of slow pace. He had 3 carries for 13 yards. Deshaun Bishop, though, I don't know too much about him, but 24 carries, 90 yards, 24 carries. Like that's what I'm telling you right now. It was not that big of a offensive performance. They were giving the ball off a lot. Not a lot of throws did happen. The receivers, though, Caleb Webb, 3 receptions, 50 yards, 1 touchdown. Chaz Nimron, 3 receptions, 17 yards. Ethan Davis, 3 receptions, 53 yards. And McCollin Castles, 2 receptions, 9 yards. Also, Hunter Salmon had 1 reception, 9 yards, and 1 touchdown, but not too big of a stats for the wide receivers. Obviously, we just talked about the running game. And that's pretty much it for the Tennessee spring game. Not a whole lot happened, but it was really good to see Nico out there putting on a show for everybody. This is kind of the first time the fans truly get to see him play other than in high school. And he had a better day than Arch Manning. And a lot of people had Arch Manning. They're always like 1 and 2 on all those rankings. So it was pretty interesting to see him in action. But what do you got to say about the Tennessee game?
I wasn't there. I didn't pay attention to most of the spring game, so I was just gonna let you take this one away since you were there. You said everything that happened, so
All right, well, this one we can talk a little bit more about the UCF spring game. Obviously, they're one of the best teams going in the Big 12, so we have to cover this. This isn't just bias.
obviously they're national champion. I've heard there's a lot of national championship talks with them too.
Yeah, exactly. 2 time. This will be the second time that we
This
win
would
a
be the
national
second time.
championship. So
And we have a dual threat quarterback coming from baseball onto the football field to throw some dimes. Like, come on, Heisman Trophy winner right here.
Heisman Trophy, just like the MVP of college baseball, whatever that award is, give it to this man. So start us off. Tommy Castellanos was 7 of 13 for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. By the way, this was an crazy offensive performance from a lot of
Mhm.
guys. His final score was 43-42.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a shootout that happened at the Bounce House. But other than Tommy Castellanos, who is up next, I promise you that he will be the future of the UCF football. As soon as JRP leaves, we probably will see Castellanos play a little bit this season as well. This is going to excite me and Michael because there's a little connection here between me and Mike and this guy. DeMarcus Bowman. He's a Lakeland native. There's some funny stories we have about that.
We got Bowman.
We got Bowman. If you guys are wondering what that means, we'll be gladly to share it with you, but that's for a different day. But we got Bowman, and we truly do got Bowman at UCF. He did have a fumble at the beginning of the game, which I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's not looking so good for him. But then he came and he showed out. He had a couple of nice runs in the game. It was headlined by a 21-yard touchdown run, and the Lakeland native ended the night with 57 yards rushing. So not a lot, but they had like a race or something at halftime. There's a
I
race
did see
between a
that.
bunch of the guys, and Bowman smoked them. So
Bowman is a speedy guy.
yeah, Bowman ran all over our high school. So I'm not surprised that he's going to be doing in the Big 12, man. He's a great player. Should have given him more playing time at UF, man. Should have given him more playing time at UF. But now UCF, we're gonna use his talents for sure. Now let's talk a little bit about JRP. He was 10 of 17 for 236 passing yards with a pair of touchdowns. After he went 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 runs batted in, and a run scored in the baseball.
Man had one day for himself, dog.
That is going down as one of his favorite days ever. Like
He was feeling himself that day, especially because in the regular season, I didn't really see a lot of throwing from him. He wasn't having a whole lot of big throwing games. I want to see him like this. Let's just make sure all of our games are after a baseball game.
let's start moving the baseball season to fall, guys. Nah, but
Just
a
have like play a little football game before the football game, and then he'll be ready. He'll be
little
all
bit of
warmed up.
intramural softball. Yeah, but that's true, man. Like this is a JRP that we want to see next season, and this comes in due with Henshaw's offense. We kind of talked a little bit about Austin, but Henshaw's offense is back, man. It's just like how Hypo ran the offense, up tempo all the time. UC fast, that's what they're calling it, and it's true. I mean, we need this kind of up tempo so we keep the ball rolling. Back when we were good, like really good, we need to transition into the Big 12 doing that same thing that worked. I don't know what happened last season, kind of with Gus Malzahn making some questionable calls in a few games. And like you're mentioning, JRP was pretty inconsistent with the ball. So as long as he can do this 10 of 17 thing for 236 yards, airing it out, obviously, I think he gave Javon Baker a really big play in that game. We need to be seeing that more this season. And I just want to share what Gus Malzahn said in the press conference. He said, I thought overall it was a good night. The defense started out really good and had a great first quarter. The second quarter was offenses, and I thought there was some really good stuff that happened during those 2 quarters. So he's paying homage both to the offense and defense. I mean, I don't really think there was much defense, but
Yeah,
when
defense, obviously not. JRP threw for 200 plus yards on your.
so it's a little interesting there. This is the most offense though I have seen out of a lot of these spring games this year. But yeah, overall, anything else you guys say about the UCF game?
That's pretty much covers it.
No. All right. Well, this next game had me sleeping very good at night, knowing that
Yep,
this happened. The Florida spring game.
10-7.
Orange beat the blue 10-7, like Mike said, the lowest scoring spring game in Florida history. And before I even look at the stats or tell you any of the stats, there was this video of this guy. And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna say this right now. It's okay to celebrate like a spring game. Like it's okay. You're hyped for the upcoming season. You just played a football game, whatever. But one of the coaches of Florida is very hype about this game, and he's even doing inappropriate gestures, kind of doing the stroking method with his hand at a player. I was very confused about why he was that excited about one of the shittiest spring games in their history.
And he's just playing against his own team too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, talk about class, bro. They
And
got
maybe they're just he's just really close with his players. He likes like just showing off. Yeah, I beat your ass, dog.
they
That's
had a little
sprints.
bet
You're
going.
doing sprints.
I will say though, whatever happened here, Napier even said himself, Coach Napier, that they're still looking to add another quarterback, even through getting Graham Mertz through the transfer portal. They're still looking to get a quarterback. That should not excite fans at UC or at Florida. That should not excite them at all. They're unsure about their QB play, one of the most important positions on a football field, and you're going up
That's
against,
the most important position on
yeah,
the football field.
the top schools in the SEC. You need a good quarterback. You need a guy that you can rally behind. But speaking of the quarterbacks, Graham Mertz finished 18 of 29 for 244 yards and a touchdown, while Miller hit 10 of 19 throws for 144 yards and a score. And this was the biggest stat that I want to share. At one point, there was more missed snaps than points, and they missed on 7 of their first 12 passes. That is insanely sad.
Yeah, there's only I saw like there's only a few positive moments for those QBs in that game.
Yeah, the QBs didn't have too many positive moments, but the running backs, that's kind of where it was at. Montreal Johnson had 87 yards on 9 touches. Trevor Etienne averaged 5.7 yards per carry. Freshman
Hey,
Trayvon Webb rushed for 57 yards, and Tulane transfer Cam Carroll hurled a defender on a 12-yard gain. That was what, and this is what this thing said. That was one of the biggest highlights was the hurl.
I
Or
mean that'd be a highlight in any game.
yeah, exactly. But yet again, that was the biggest thing that happened was one play. So that kind of wraps it up for the Florida spring game. They're gonna be going through some rebuilding years, and I'm telling you right now, I think I've said it before. I've definitely told other people this before. Billy Napier is not gonna last there long, especially with the culture at UF. They want to win, and I don't blame them. They come from a winning culture at UF. And when you got a guy like Napier who just came off a 6-7 season, his first year there, and now they're worried about QB play, and they lost like the second most amount of players in the SEC. It is not looking good, man. And those fans are gonna have him fired. If they're gonna fire Dan Mullen, a guy who almost got them to the playoffs, they're definitely not gonna keep Napier around for long. And yeah, we'll get back to Napier in a little bit when we look at some pictures of him and see what job he has. But the last game, or sorry, the second to last game that I want to mention is Georgia. I want to talk about Georgia for the sole fact that they are back-to-back national champions, and it's good that we cover it. No more Stetson Bennett, but their guy who is up next, Carson Beck. He had the best day out of the quarterbacks, going 15 of 22 for 231 yards and a touchdown. And Brock Vandegrift was 13 of 25 for 150 yards with 2 touchdowns and interceptions. And then Gunnar Stockton was 13 of 22 for 144 yards and had an interception returned, 21 yards for a touchdown. That sucked by Raylan Wilson. So the QB play with Carson Beck is looking like it's going to be all right. He did get to play in the national championship game, which is funny to even say that a backup gets to play a national championship game without an injury involved. That's just how bad TCU got their asses whooped. But I will say this, Carson Beck is still going to be young. He's still going to be making a few bad decisions, but Georgia still has most of their good players.
Yeah.
So I'd expect Georgia to be top 4 at
Hey, and
least.
Stetson Bennett might be returning if he goes undrafted.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that because I thought that his eligibility is up. So I,
I
I
think we
don't
all did.
I don't know if that was just like a meme we saw, but yeah, it kind of confused me for sure. If Stetson Bennett comes back, that man will get clowned for the rest of his life. He's better off going to the damn USFL or XFL or whatever. Please do not come back to college football. Uh, but but our last spring game we're going to talk about is Ohio State. Some good play over at Georgia for the quarterbacks, but for Ohio State, it's kind of a different story. Their guy who was supposed to be up next after CJ Stroud, McCord, he completed 18 of 34 passes for 184 yards and a touchdown. The TD was a 37-yarder to freshman Carnell Tate. 18 of 34, bro. And this is the guy that they have up next. Obviously, not gonna be like stressing it, overreacting or anything like that. But that does worry me just a little bit because I mean you are playing up against your own defense, but at the same time, you need to be hitting more of those throws. I mean, I'm not gonna do the math in my head, but 18 of 34, that's insane. So McCord needs to step it up. Anything else you got to say about the spring games, Mike?
No, that's everything. We basically covered it all.
All right, perfect. Now this next segment is going to be our newer segment that we're gonna have. It's gonna be called Alternate Reality. And I thought we'd just do this for a little bit of fun, kind of go back in history a little bit, see where we could be at it in an alternate reality if me and Mike chose our favorite professional teams and college team based on who won the championship that season. So Michael, you start us off, man.
You want to start like go each league and then say each other's and just move
Oh
on?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
do that. So what do you want to start with?
Let's start with
NFL?
NBA.
NBA?
Yeah.
All right, so in the NBA, if I was a fan of the team that won my my birth year, I'd be a Detroit Pistons fan. Woo!
Hey, they got a ring though. They got a ring.
They got a ring though. They got a ring. But I would hate it right now. I'd be like, this sucks.
Yeah, no, yeah.
We in Dunk
That's
City though.
yeah. Hey, Ben Wallace though. You would most definitely have like a Ben Wallace jersey. Chauncey Billups jersey, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, they got a fire throwback though. I'll give it to them. For me, my team would have been the San Antonio Spurs. So I mean,
Hey,
I would
I
have
mean
been a
neither
little
of us
more,
are really the best right now.
yeah, but at the same time, I would have had a little bit more to root for. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, that year they beat the Nets 4-2. They were led by Tim Duncan, and that became Greg Popovich's second ring.
You'd be
So
rooting for the Clippers right now though with Kawhi.
oh yeah, most definitely, bro. I mean, I'm already kind of rooting for the Clippers in that series, anyways.
Yeah,
But
it's the same.
as most America most likely is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, that's awesome. Now the next one, NHL. For me, it would have been the New Jersey Devils. And that's weird to say. And also, I already know who yours is, which we'll get to that in a second. But uh, this series, they beat Anaheim Ducks 4-3. The New Jersey Devils won their third Stanley Cup in 9 seasons that year. The Devils, they have a great history, so I wouldn't be that mad. But New Jersey, man,
You.
not yeah, not the best there. Michael, go ahead.
But I am, which I kind of am already, a Lightning fan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing really, basically, nothing changes. But I'm just little spoiler alert. The next two
yeah.
big leagues, nothing really
I was
changes.
I was about to say that too. That is actually really funny because I was looking at this stuff, and our next one, NFL, our teams literally did not change, which is super funny. For me, Tampa Bay Bucks, they won 48-21 against the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, but for me, I'm the New England Patriots. Tom Brady's Super Bowl baby, the beginning of the Brady era.
Maybe it was just meant to be, man. Maybe it really just was.
Maybe. Who
Born in
knows?
that year. I mean, these other teams are not really. The next one though, MLB. This was a 2003 was a great year for Florida, might I add.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Florida Marlins, they beat the Yankees 4-2 in the MLB. So I would have been in
Miguel
Miami.
Cabrera's rookie year, or one of his first years.
Yeah. So I mean, Miami Marlins, John would have probably loved me for that. That's one of John's teams.
No,
So
it's not, bro. No, it's not. When do I ever say I like the Marlins?
so
But
and
for
I'm
me,
not I'm not really
what?
I'm not really opposed to that. It's still a Florida team, so
Yeah, I like the Marlins. Their jerseys are all nice. But for me, I'm still a Red Sox fan. Red Sox won in 2004 to break the curse, and nothing really changed again. I feel the same way. I would feel the same way. I would be
it was meant
actually
to be.
I'd be happier if this actually was real because Nick wouldn't be a Rays fan.
Hey man, Rays are better. Rays are superior.
This
So,
alternate reality, Michael's probably so happy right now. He's like, he probably doesn't hate the Rays right. He probably doesn't hate the Rays. He just dislikes them.
yeah, because if we were doing this with John too, I don't know if you guys know this for you listening. John, our previous co-host, me and him have the same exact birthday, same day, same year.
Same time?
So say what?
Same time?
No, 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 no. I think it was actually like close though. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was so the time zones were different because I was in Central Time and he was in Eastern Time when we were born. So I don't know. Anyways, yeah, John would probably be a little bit happier too. Maybe the whole friend group would have been a lot different, bro, because two
We'd
Marlins.
all be
Sorry.
we'd all be not hating each other. Well, actually, Marlins just suck, so I want to hate them. That's the thing. I want to hate them.
That is true. And we would be supporting a team that has a ring, but I will say I still like the Cardinals, so give me that anyways. That they have rings. So
Yeah, I almost was a Cardinals fan in this alternate reality.
oh yeah, that's true. That would have been awesome, man. Yeah, so the last one will be college football. And back in the day, it was the BCS National Championship. And for me, this is actually funny because in reality, it would be LSU because they won the BCS National Championship. But this year in 2003, they basically had two champions. Um, and the other one was USC, University of Southern California. They were named the co-champions that year. So there's actually two of them, but the rightful one would be LSU. The Becker family, if you're watching this, I know you guys are happy about that, seeing me say that as I wear a Tennessee hat. But either way, if this alternate reality was a thing, my teams would be completely all over the place, other than baseball and football. Um, but yeah, Michael,
For me, I would be a traveler. The USC won my in 2004. Said,
USC, yeah,
yeah. So who knows? I might have been in California right now.
big USC guy here.
Big USC guy in that alternate reality.
He definitely was. Go Trojans, man. We could have agreed on that. Coach, they were
Hey,
the
look,
coach.
we could have, man. Maybe in a reality we would have shared the same team.
That would have been crazy, bro. But who knows if against the call would have been a thing then. You got to have some debates here and there. But
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
to end this off, I just want to mention the Masters champion, Mike Weir. He was the first Canadian male to win a major and also the first left-handed player to win the Masters. He also is the only Canadian to win the tournament. And for you, it would be Phil Mickelson, which whenever I was reading this, I was like, I didn't know much about Mike Weir, but I saw that he was the first left-handed to win it. And then I realized right after that, Phil Mickelson winning it as another lefty, two in a row. That's crazy. So I guess Mike Weir would have been my favorite golfer. But anyways, Mike, anything else you want to say about that?
No, that basically does it all.
All right, perfect. The next segment is going to be called Day Job SEC Coaches, the head coaches of SEC teams. I'm going to show Michael a picture of the SEC coach, and we're going to both say what we think their job would be if they weren't head coaching in the SEC. So the first one is going to be Zach Arnett, the head coach of Mississippi State. Here's a picture of him, Mike.
Okay.
I think I know exactly what this guy would be.
He looks like he would be a personal trainer.
I was thinking that, or he's just a weightlifting coach at high
That's what I'm saying.
school.
He looks like he's hitting the weights a lot. Looks like he'll be hyping you up to get that PR.
Most definitely. All right. So the next one is going to be Clark Leah from Vanderbilt. Here's a picture of him, Mike. What are we thinking here?
Clark Leah, yeah, he's the bald guy. He kind of looks like he'd be a politician.
Yeah, I was thinking that or a police chief.
I will bring vote for me and all your dreams will come true type thing.
He's definitely trying to crack down on like either drugs or like the most wanted criminal.
He does actually do look like a police chief. It looks like the I've seen one. I don't know if it was a Lakeland police chief or like a Bartow. They look like that.
The bald guys, bro. They're carrying the police force. All right, the next one is gonna be Eli Drinkwitz. Talk about the nerdiest head coach around. This is him, and he could be a load of things, in my opinion.
Tax accountant.
Tax accountant, yeah, that or like a bank manager.
Hey, what do you call for today? I need my taxes done. Okay, I can get right with that.
Without the suit, Walgreens manager.
Hey, what can I help you with today?
Yeah, now that guy totally nerdy, but the next guy, Billy Napier. I really don't know, man. You know what I think I know. I think I know.
What do you think?
He's got to be the most convincing car salesman
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
I was also thinking home and auto insurance.
He's the face of Geico, guys.
He
Uh,
is Geico.
so the next guy is going to be Hugh Freeze. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Mike. I don't even see this guy having a job. I think that if he did, he's working construction somewhere. He likes to golf and fish in his free time. And he has
He's-
three daughters, and they all
Yeah.
live in the state.
You come, you dating a woman's daughter, you come home to meet him, and then he's just like the very chill dad. Dad like, hey, you want to go fishing and pop a Corona with me? Like a cowboy.
Gotta love Hugh Freeze, man. All right, the next one, head coach of Arkansas, Sam Pittman. There's quite a bit to unravel here. He's an older guy.
Oh.
Um,
Uh he he looks like he'd be a competitive like BBQ guy. He's with Mr. Townley.
oh my gosh, yes, dude, I can see that.
He
Sure.
competes in like in food. He,
Yeah. That or looks
BBQ
like
competitions.
he's been in the army for like a really long time. He's like
He does look like he's been out like you're a veteran. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, he's like a veteran. He's like one of those old generals in like the
Yeah,
movies. For sure, bro.
General Barbecue. That could be his team name.
The pork commander. All right, so the next one, Jimbo Fisher. Um, you know, who he reminds me of? This picture reminds me of too. That like sleazy lawyer on TikTok that has like all
Yeah,
things on.
yeah, he
This guy
does.
is definitely a domestic lawyer that deals with like divorces and
Yeah,
like
divorce lawyer. And you can tell he was going through a divorce as well. With that with the bonds bought.
dude, Jimbo, man, great guy. All right, the next one, it's gonna be Coach Beamer from South Carolina. Um, I don't even know where to
Oh,
start.
oh, he looks like a fast food manager, like a Chick-fil-A manager, like a nicer fast food restaurant, like a PDQ Chick-fil-A manager.
I PDQ. Yeah, I can see that. One of the things that I saw this on a long time ago said he looked like a PGA golfer.
He actually kind of does.
Yeah, he
If
does.
I could see a Karen like, what's the problem today? I got the wrong sauce. I'll fix that up with you, free of charge meal.
Him in just a red Chick-fil-A shirt coming up to you as you're sitting down, asking how your food is.
Hey, how's your food today? It's good. Thank you. My pleasure. If you
All
need
right,
anything, just
next,
let me know.
yeah, exactly. If you need anything, just come up to me. I'm behind the counter. Anyways, the next one, the GOAT, Lane Kiffin.
I don't know what I'd put him. Maybe
You know what I think of Lane Kiffin? Like, not only does he look professionally divorced, but he looks like he would be a high school, like one of the chill high school teachers for history.
he kind of looks like he'd be one of the annoyed high school teachers. Like if you ask him a question, you like a robo.
A Robo, yeah, I could see him being a Robo. I mean, Robo was chill.
Not with Connor.
Yeah, man. The next one, the clear and clear cut obvious goat, Josh Heupel.
I keep thinking you're gonna say um, Alabama's coach. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name. It literally was just in my head. Oh, but him? That's hard. He looks like a couple different things.
You know what he looks like to me? He looks like two things. Number one, he works at a car wash. Number two, and this is what I saw in like another post, he looks like a maintenance guy who's just like there, like he could be a plumber, He could be a guy fixing your TV. He comes in the Safe Light van. I don't know.
He looks like a Booster Club president.
I can see that. All love to Josh Heupel, man. I love that guy. All right, the next one, Mark Stoops.
Mark Stoops.
Yeah. To me, Mark Stoops. Man. Uh definitely a car salesman. I could see that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Already kind of said that. Um yeah, I just think car salesman, honestly. I can't really see him doing anything else.
Maybe
Dad
like a used car salesman.
he has a really crappy commercial on television. Yeah, I can see that.
A used car salesman.
All right, we're down to our last three. We got Brian Kelly from LSU.
Hmm. Hmm. Maybe like this is hard. What would I put him as? He kind of looks like stressed in that video, so I'm trying to think of like a stressful job. I was thinking like I we said it already, maybe like a an attorney of some sort.
Yeah, that or he's like the vice president of Chick-fil-A. And Beamer is like under him somewhere. Um, nah, Chick-fil-A, nah. Definitely like, yeah, like you're saying, some sort of attorney, for sure. Now, what some might say the GOAT,
Nick
Nick Saban.
Saban. Yeah, there you go. Mm. Nick Saban. He's definitely. We've said this. He looks like a. I've always thought he looked like a car salesman. Like every time when I'm not like we said this multiple times, but he does look like out of all of them. I think he looks like the most of a car salesman.
He
But
looks,
this one, like not a used car salesman, like a top dog, like Bugatti car salesman.
oh yeah,
Like he's
okay.
at the top, like Ferrari, Bugatti, because like he don't take that. He's like, "Are you in here for a video? No, no, no recording in here. No recording here. Get out. You have permission to record? No." Like that type of car salesman.
What I'd say about Saban, I always kind of think about him like in that practice outfit where he has like that big hat on. So he looks like he'd be like a professional like fisher. Like if
One that
you,
doesn't want to be bothered.
yeah, exactly. Like Bill Dance type fisherman, like winning multiple championships in fishing. That's only with the hat on. Without the hat, like you said, Bugatti salesman. The last one is going to be the back-to-back national champion head coach, Kirby Smart. And
Yeah.
in this picture, he looks like he most definitely works at Walmart. Like in my opinion, I feel like I've seen this guy work at Walmart before.
It was
It's
like a history teacher.
oh, you think so?
Yeah, kind of look like a history teacher from this picture.
That or
Like,
like a girls track and field coach at a high school.
yeah, the girls that one too. Like history teacher, historian, or a track and field coach. More of a historian than history teacher. Like he looks like if you say something wrong about history, he gets pissed.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for one of our newer segments here, Day Job with the SEC head coaches. We're gonna jump right into around the league, NBA playoffs. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the John Morant injury. It's gonna be a game time decision for him to come into the game tonight. That's gonna be played tonight as we're recording this. So
So
I'm
we'll see when
hoping that
this releases. They'll know if he played.
yeah, and as of right now, I'm hoping he does. I don't know if it'd be best if he does though. I need him to have a speedy recovery and do all the best work that he can, and Grizzlies still get that dub tonight. But we'll get to that in a second. This is gonna be exciting news for both me and Michael because not a big fan of this guy, Draymond Green.
Oh my god, this was I was gonna talk about this. This is the most Draymond thing. I hate him so much. He is my least favorite player in this league, and this should why there was no point in that because in the video. So for those who don't know, it was the playoff game. Sabonis, the center, goes down, and let it be known he was hit in the face earlier that game. So he went to cover his face for anything, and he accidentally like Draymond's leg was there. So when he was going up, he like hooked around the leg on accident. And Draymond, he got pissed, and while he's on the ground, goes and steps like full on steps on his ribs, and over him. And now because of it, Sabonis had to go get X-rays for rib injuries. Like, dog, there was no point. So he was clearly trying to cover his face. Like you can tell he was like the face type there. He kind of looked like an X, like a dad or some sort. And then, but Draymond was only suspended for game 3. On a flagrant 2, there's usually 3 games they're suspended for. I
Yeah.
think he should have been suspended for 3 games.
Yeah, and then I mean, I agree with you. There's no place for this kind of stuff. And there's fans out there of the NBA that are like, oh, shouldn't have even been in any suspension because
No,
we
that's let me rephrase that. That's Warriors fans. Those are Warriors. I've only seen Warriors fans saying that.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to like in comment sections and stuff, it's kind of hard to know who is fans of who, which it most likely is Warriors fans, but there are fans out there that aren't Warriors fans who are thinking shouldn't have even been a suspension. They want to see all players on the roster. But like you just mentioned, he's gonna have to get x-rayed for his ribs.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's the
That's a
king. One
guy
of the
out
Kings' top
already.
2 players, top 3 players.
Exactly. I mean, they're that mad that they are down 2-0 to the Kings, and I'm all for it. Um,
And Draymond, who cares? Draymond sucks anyways. He's not like
does, bro. And people want to say he's a better defender than Dennis Rodman. He's in
no, he
that
is not,
conversation.
dog. He's
He's not. If
it,
anything, Dennis Rodman probably has way better stats than him, honestly. I mean, and to be fair, both are on super teams, but two different eras.
Draymond on another team, he wouldn't even have a ring, dude. Unless he was on like a team with LeBron, maybe. But like if he was on, I don't know, the Clippers never win. That would make no difference. They'd still never win. If he was on the Grizzlies, the Grizzlies would be in the same spot. If he was on the Celtics, Celtics would be in the same spot. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, being a Grizzlies fan, like he is, like I already didn't like him before the Grizzlies Warriors beef, and
yeah.
he just escalated it to another point. And on top of that, he's escalated a rivalry with the Warriors and Celtics. In my opinion, I think he has. And you're a Celtics fan, so you can back me up on that. But I feel like Draymond has stirred up so much beef in the entire NBA that it's like it's not like Dylan Brooks, how Dylan Brooks is kind of like this villain right now. It's just Draymond's annoying as hell.
No,
Like
yeah, and he like talks so much smack, and he's not good enough to back it up. Like he hasn't made the All Star game in how long? And I don't even think even when he made the All Star game, wasn't that good enough to. I think there's better players that can have made it above him.
he's carried by Clay, he's carried by Steph, he was
He
carried
really
by
is. He was carried
KD.
by KD.
Yeah.
He's carried by
Like,
Wiggins. He's not. I don't. I think there's. And then when he punched Jordan Poole in the face last season, or was it the beginning of this season? Like that's your teammate, and that's a guy who's taking your job. No wonder he punched him in the face. And he has a pod. I'm pretty sure Draymond has a podcast now. It gets the call better. We better.
yeah, we are, bro. Like
Who was listening
Draymond,
to just
like he just stirs up so much unnecessary beef. It is insane. And stepping on Sabonis, uncalled for. This goes for anyone in the league.
did you see him when he got ejected that game? Like he went to the fans was like like
No,
dog.
he's done that before. Whenever
Yeah,
he's
like
got
he hurt someone and then he just like he's happy about it. That's so like that's the most unprofessional thing ever.
it is. If you're hurting someone on the court,
Purposely.
exactly. Like it's not like it's on accident.
Like that was obviously on purpose because he looked down and stepped on him. It like when I saw that video, it's like, oh, it like pissed me off like more. I even hate Draymond even more.
Yeah, man. It's all over the place. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Giannis is out for game 2, most likely. Um,
I see this, and then because of that, I think the Heat will win. I think the Heat have the overall better team, but when Giannis is on the Bucks, they're obviously better because it's Giannis. But I think well, even with Tyler Hero out, I think the Heat have a better put together team than the Bucks do.
really.
Like the Bucks do have Chris Middleton and they do have Drew Holiday, which are both very good players. But I mean,
Lopez.
there's Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, all these players on the Heat. That's more who's who can pick up for Tyler Hero slack when you can't replace Giannis on the Bucks.
Yeah, they're definitely on upset alert, most definitely. Especially after taking that first game. It's gonna
Yeah, you
be
had them going to the finals.
very interesting. Yeah, I did. But also, I mean, you had the Suns going to the finals, right?
Yeah, and I hope I'm wrong with that. I
Yeah.
would love to see, but the Suns did tie the series up. It is 1-1.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, that series is going to be great. We called it to be great. We're looking
Yeah.
forward to that. But
And Russ came out hot. He blocked KD.
yeah, I was gonna get to that. But yeah, no, he did block Kevin Durant. That was personal, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Did
And that was
did you
awesome
see
to
the
watch. It really is.
Yeah, it was. Did you see the videos like before the game? It was like a reporter doing like a report on the Suns game saying like the Suns uh I forgot they were saying like something about good about the Suns, and then Russ is like on the side saying good luck to him. I said the Suns are coming out playing and they have a good chance of winning. He's like good luck. Like you just see him in the background like good luck. Good luck.
I love that. I love that. But to be fair, the Suns did win.
Yeah.
Suns even the series with the Clippers 1-1. They won 123 to 109. Uh,
Hmm.
so not even that close of a win.
Yeah,
Uh,
Kawhi and Russ did put up a very good fight. Russ had 28 and Kawhi had over 30, like 31 or something around that. But
we're
other than
seeing
that,
prime playoff Russ back, and I love it,
yeah,
especially with the block on
Russ
KD.
is picking up for Paul George, which is really good for that team.
Yeah, Westbrook is not making too many houses lately. He's been draining some shots. Other than that, Michael's gonna love hearing about this. Celtics go up 2-0 against the Hawks after last night's win, 119 to 106.
Yeah,
Not even a close game.
it
Uh,
was
for
they
the Hawks.
started coming back. Like at first the Celtics weren't looking so good. I watched this game. The Hawks came out and the Celtics just they just picked up where they were loose, and they just ran away with it. The Hawks were making a little bit of a comeback in the third quarter at the end, and then I look away for 1 second, I come back, and the Celtics are back up by 20. And the Celtics are just like tearing through this team this offseason. They're making a statement for themselves, which I saw this happening. But it is the Hawks right now, so we'll see what happens in the next stage when we face the Sixers probably.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens when the fans in Atlanta show up. Both of those games have been in TD Garden, so we'll see what happens. It always does play in part home court advantage, but this could very well likely be a sweep. I'm just trying to give them a little bit of hope, and by them I
Yeah.
mean Jay. But anyways, um,
Yeah, I was gonna text text the group chat, be like, it's still a 4 game series, y'all good, y'all good. But I was like, oh, no one texted for like days. So when I texted y'all, when I texted the group chat, we doing good, keep it up. That's what the Celtics won. Right after.
dang, bro, he's rubbing salt in the wound to our out of pocket
I'm
uh
just playing around, dog.
ranch managers. Anyways, the Cavaliers tied the series 1-1 with a 107 to 90 win
Yep,
over the Knicks. They did it
good
in
to see.
very, very good fashion here. Yeah, I love seeing that for sure. Now they're gonna head to New York Stadium and
Yeah,
Arena. Sorry, my fault. They're gonna see what they can do there. But the
yep.
Cavs were looking way nicer than they were the first
Yeah,
game.
keeping the Knicks under 100 points is very good for the defensive side of their game. And
Unsure why like Julius Randle was still in the game when they were down like 20 points. Um,
at the end of the
I
game.
saw that he got a little injury or something. I think he's fine, but I saw him like going up for a dunk and the guy who was trying to block it fell onto him. I don't know the entire scenario about that,
Yeah,
but bad coaching by Thibodeau. Julius
yeah.
Randle, your main guy, needs to be benched during that time.
And
Uh,
Karis LeVert had 24 points that game. It's good to see him come back. And
oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, I really liked Karis LeVert. I forgot he was on the Cavs this season. I'm not gonna lie.
I remembered it because of the fact the whole like physical thing that happened. Remember that?
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
where yeah, they found whatever was inside of him. I don't even know. That's my fault. Anyways, tonight as we are recording this, these are the games: the Lakers versus Grizzlies, Heat versus Bucks, and Timberwolves versus Nuggets. Great lineup tonight.
oh, and
Um,
76ers go up 2-0, by the way. We forgot to mention that game.
oh yeah, I was just covering the games that happened last night.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
So that way it's not too much of old news. Sorry about that, guys, if you're listening. The NBA playoffs are definitely something that it's kind of hard because there's game after game after game until we
There's a
get to
game every day.
until we get to the finals, and the Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals. But anything else you got to say about around the league NBA playoffs?
Not really, just go Heat, go Nuggets, and I don't and go Grizzlies because I don't want the Lakers to go through.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on all of those picks. But let's move on to around the league NHL playoffs. We don't know as much about the NHL as we do NBA, but like we did say, we're gonna cover it. Let's
Yep.
take you through last night's games. Last night meaning Tuesday of this week. The New York Rangers beat the New Jersey Devils 5-1 to make
Yep.
the series 1-0.
These games, they're high scoring for hockey.
They are just like the next one, which we were very excited about. I was very excited to see this score. Lightning beat the Maple Leafs 7-3.
Yeah, they went up 2-0 in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that. And then at the end of the first quarter, 3-1. I was
Mhm.
like, dang, that's pretty much in the bag. Because whenever you get like 3 goals in hockey, it's very hard to come back from that. It's almost like soccer.
Yeah.
So they Lightning are up 1-0 in the series. Great to see. Um, the Winnipeg Jets beat the Vegas Golden Knights 5-1 to go up 1-0 in the series. Another blowout.
Mhm.
And another blowout, Kraken beating the Avalanche 3-1 to go up
Love to
1-0
see
in
it.
the series.
Love to see it.
I love to see it, especially after last year's whole fiasco with Avalanche beating the Lightning. And
Yeah.
no overreactions here, but I did say Kraken Lightning finals, so that gets me a little excited.
Hey, but yeah, I said Bruins Oilers and the Oilers went down. They
Yeah,
lost 4 to
yeah,
3 on Monday.
yep. So Panthers versus Bruins, as you mentioned, Bruins are up 1-0. Got a little chippy there.
Mhm.
But that game is going to be tonight. On top of that, another game to recap. Or no, that's all the games that happened. But tonight is going to be Islanders versus Hurricanes. Canes are up 1-0. Canes are on fire
Yeah,
this
they
entire
won
season.
2-1 on Monday night.
Yep. And then after that, you're going to have Wild versus Stars. The Wild are up 1-0. Then LA Kings versus Oilers. As you mentioned, the Oilers are down. The LA Kings are up 1-0. So it is going to be a
Mhm.
great game. Great games are going to be on tonight for sure. And on top
Definitely.
of that, go Lightning, go Bolts. Hopefully we can go to Thunder Alley sometime soon, Michael. Get to experience that atmosphere. It's gonna be something different, man. This
Mhm.
I got a good feeling about this playoffs. I don't think that the Lightning could. I hope and pray the Lightning go all the way, but with the Bruins in the way, it's gonna be a little hard. But I will say this playoff is feeling like something great, especially with all the teams that are in it. So this finals, the Stanley Cup, is gonna be a fun one, and
Mhm.
I'm very excited for it. Anything else you got to say about the NHL playoffs?
No, that's pretty much does it. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move into the countdown. We mentioned a little bit earlier, JRP being a multi-sport athlete, playing baseball, playing football, crazy storylines all around. But the countdown today is going to be the best multi-sport athletes of all time. Michael, take it away.
For me, at my number 5, I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray, the quarterback of the Cardinals. A good one when he's not playing Call of Duty. He's very solid quarterback. And then he was also in college, a baseball player, a very good one, being drafted in the first round of the MLB playoff of draft. I mean, and in the as the first pick in the NFL draft. Very impressive. In the At his senior year or his last year playing baseball at college, he had a 296 batting average with 10 home runs, and that's really good for in baseball. And obviously, we know how his football career went. He was dominant in his years over there in Oklahoma, and then my number 4, I have Jameis Winston. In NFL, he was a passing leader in the NFL, and then in college as a pitcher, he posted a 1.94 career ERA in college with 41 games, which is super good. That's he would have been drafted. I don't know if he did or not, but he would have been a good player in the minors and majors if he made it. But after that, I have Jim Brown. He was an NFL player and a lacrosse player at Syracuse. Uh, we know how he is with football, an amazing running back. But
Yeah.
at Syracuse and lacrosse made a rule named after him to
Oh,
stop how dominant he was. He
wow.
scored 43 goals in 10 games. And they had to fix the game and name a rule after him to stop what I forgot what it was, but to stop so much scoring from one player. But
Wow, dude.
yeah,
And that's back when like lacrosse wasn't even heard of. Like really, like
no, he was super good at lacrosse. But after that, at my number two, I have Bo Jackson. He in the NFL, he had a 900 plus rushing season, super impressive. And then he was even an MLB All Star, which is not easy to get, especially in his time. Being the MLB, getting to the MLB is hard in itself, and on top of that, making an All Star game, that's impressive. And that shows that you deserve to be in that league. Plus, posting 900 plus rushing yards is also super impressive in the NFL. And then my number one, I have Mr. Deion Sanders, NFL legend. We all know about his NFL career, but in baseball, he had 2,000 plus at bats and posted a .263 batting average with 39 home runs in his career. Very good for a short career in the MLB. But again, he made the MLB not easy to do, and he had some very good plays and highlights while he was on the Braves and the MLB. So Nick, take it away with yours.
yeah, awesome list, Michael. I gotta say that is really great list of yours. I'm gonna start with my honorable mentions. JRP, honorable mention, of course. Another honorable mention. Michael's gonna love this one. Danny Ainge.
Yeah,
Um,
I was looking at him too.
yeah, super good. And also my last honorable mention, Jameis Winston. On my number five, I'm gonna have Jim Thorpe. He
Okay.
played discus in the Olympics, played pro baseball
Mhm.
and pro football, and became one of the first presidents of the AFL, which later became the NFL. To be dominant in the Olympics, to be dominant in baseball, and to
Not gonna
be
lie, I forgot about him.
yeah,
I've heard multiple stories about him. I just forgot to put him on my list. Dang.
insane. There's also another guy that you kind of forgot, but we'll get to him in a second. Number four, Kyler Murray. You've basically said everything about it. To go number one overall pick in the NFL and to go in the first round of the MLB draft has never been done other than Kyler Murray. So to see that and to have that level of play, incredible. And you've already basically given all the stats that need to be given out. He was incredible in baseball and football. And I remember that entire year. Everybody's like, is he going to go play for the Oakland A's or is he going to go play for football? Now we all kind of knew he was going to play for football because
And good thing he
he was
did.
getting paid more for in football than the entire team on the Oakland A's. So he made the right choice, obviously.
In his defense, though, I mean, on the baseball defense, he probably would be in the MLB by now because
Oh,
of how bad the
oh yeah, he most definitely would have been called up for sure.
yeah.
On my number three, this is a guy you forgot to mention, Michael Jordan. And
I was gonna put him on, but I didn't because Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson had better MLB careers, and he was in the minors, and he didn't really have a good. I mean, he did. He's obviously still a good
he,
multi-sport.
well, he did play for the White Sox his second year of playing baseball, so he did get called up. Uh,
Oh really? I thought it was the White
yeah,
Sox minor league
yeah, he played that his first year, and you can look this up. I mean, I swear I read it right, but because I was
because there's a team called the something White
confused about
Sox
it
is
too.
their minor league baseball team.
Yeah, but anyways, Michael Jordan, he proved that he could be the greatest basketball player to ever exist, and then he proved that he can play another sport as well, with it being baseball. And whether it be in minor leagues or major leagues, he still was very dominant in both sports. I mean, he didn't have the greatest baseball career like Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders did, and Kyler Murray in college, but him playing both sports proved that he was one of the greatest multi-sport athletes of all time, in my opinion. Um, and maybe the basketball outweighs the baseball, but he still was able to do both of them. So, Mike, what does it say on there?
It just says all I'm seeing is minor league stats right now, but I'm gonna make sure I'm right or not. But I'm not sure. Go on with your rest. I'll bring it up.
All right. So, my second one, as you mentioned, Deion Sanders. Man, I got to watch an ESPN 30 for 30 or whatever it was. Maybe it was just a film about it. It was called Deion's Double Play, and it was about when he played in Miami for the Falcons, and then he had to go play a playoff game for the Braves in one day. And he came and he showed out. And there was a lot of controversy going around him playing baseball and him playing football. And a lot more of the controversy came from the owners in the MLB for the Braves and stuff like that. But as you already mentioned, great stats for Deion. One of the greatest, not only multi-sport athletes of all time, but just athlete of all time. Deion is incredible. And he's a cocky guy, but he deserves it. He deserves to be
Yeah.
cocky because of this. And
So coming back to Michael Jordan, he played only one major league game. It was an exhibition game, but he played his entire career in the minors.
all right, that's probably what I read, but still can't
Still
undermine it.
impressive, yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
still minor league is still professional baseball.
Yeah.
So, and then the number one, in my opinion, the greatest multi-sport athlete of all time, Bo Jackson. You've already mentioned everything, and pretty much on any list you look at, Bo Jackson will be one, and if not one, he will be two, with probably Deion in front of him.
Mhm.
But Bo Jackson is pretty much the undisputed number one for a lot of lists, and rightfully so. He was one of the greatest running backs ever for his time, and his career was cut short because of injury. But the time that he played, didn't he play for the Royals? For
He played for the Royals, yeah.
Yeah, so and he was able to do that, and he's on basically the same level as Dion. But Bo Jackson is more of the fan favorite for best multi-sport athletes. So that's who I'm gonna go with on my number one.
Yeah, solid list. One of my honorable mentions, Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time, and he was drafted
Oh
by
yeah,
the Expos too.
yeah, very true. Yeah, and the best thing is like with Dion, Bo Jackson, and Kyler Murray, uh, pretty much any of these lists, but those guys specifically, they never let another sport like get ahead of each other. They were both equally as good in both sports and could have had Hall of Fame careers in both sports.
Mhm.
And that's what makes them such a great just athlete in general.
Yeah.
Um,
The
that's
only reason I see players choosing football over baseball in like these types of situations because a lot of football players also played baseball if you look at it. And the reason they choose football is because they make it to the league a lot faster. Like when you get drafted in the MLB, you have to go through the minors. You have to make sure you have to look better than all these minor league players in 3 to 4 different different leagues. There's low A, high A, double A, triple A, and then the majors. And it's a long time before you get called up. But also, I would say if you get called to the majors, you have a chance of making bigger money than football because a lot of baseball players, bad players, make multi-million-dollar contracts. Like if you're just average.
Yeah. That it's just a longer process though. And
Mhm.
like you're saying, money does talk. You're gonna want that money. When the money's put in front of you, you want it ASAP. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna want it. And if you're Dion though, you're already playing at the highest level. If you're Bo Jackson, you're already playing at the highest level of professional baseball. So those guys, they are just tremendous. They're incredible. Any of those guys, please come on our podcast, except for Jim Thorpe, because you're not alive anymore. But so we're gonna head into our next segment. Do you have anything else to say about the countdown?
That's everything.
All right, we're gonna head into our next segment, the USA versus Mexico soccer friendly that is going to be happening tonight as we record this at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm just gonna say what to watch for. So the first thing to watch for is possession. Mexico is gonna want a lot of the possessions. Another thing to look for, the forwards. Jordan Morrison has been hot so far in the early part of the Major League Soccer season. Withdrawal of Paul Arroyo from the roster due to muscle tightness. He's the only one on the roster with more than 10 international goals. So super good for this guy. Another thing to look out for is the tension that's going to be there. It's USA versus Mexico, and this is one of the best rivalries in the international soccer world. So very exciting times. That's why I thought that we would be able to cover it. But other than that, There's going to be a lot of tense moments from whoever's handling the ball. They're going to want to take it away, and it's going to be very, very cool to see. This is going to be a very, very tense match, which is why we want to cover it. And I'm hoping that I get to watch a little bit of it. I think that the NBA playoffs are going to be on, but it's best that we cover this. That way you guys know that this big game is happening. It's a big rivalry game. And shout out to starsandstripesfc.com for this information that I just said to you. But I will also say Pulisic and Chucky Lozano, who plays on Mexico, will not be playing due to European club duties. So two of the big name stars for both teams will not be playing in this match. But however, this match will still be a super fun one. Although it's a friendly, it's a scrimmage, it'll still be very, very cool to see. So, Michael, do you have anything to say about that?
No, that you pretty much covered it.
Go USA.
Go USA.
So we're gonna head into our next segment. Mount Rushmore, the best women golfers of all time. And the reason that I added this in because I genuinely didn't know. I didn't know who was the best women golfer of all time, yet alone top four who would be on the Mount Rushmore. So I thought that we'd be able to do this. Michael, you start us off.
Okay, for my first one, I have Miss Kathy Whitworth. Kathy Whitworth. She is the winningest golfer in the LPGA Tour history with a whopping 88 victories to her name. Whitworth's major record leaves something to be desired, though. She only has 6, with which pales in comparison to some of her fellow elite peers. Still, she was the first to earn $1 million earnings in the LPGA tours. And then my next one, I have Miss Patty Berg. For her, she where Patty Berg does own the all-time mark with 15 major wins. However, by any measures, she is in the GOAT conversation. She also was a speed skater, by the way, for the US. It's cool. But with my next one, I have Mickey Wright. Many argue that Mickey Wright is the best female golfer to ever live behind my next one. But she has 82 wins in the LPGA tours and 13 major titles. And then with my last one, I have who many call the GOAT, Annika Sorenstam. She is quote unquote the GOAT by many. She retired in 2008 with 72 LPGA wins and 17 ladies European Tour wins, ranking 3rd and 5th all time, respectively. Sorensen won 10 majors and was named the Player of the Year 8 times, and is the only female golfer to shoot and score of 59 in competition.
Wow, Michael, that's a great list, and we must have went to the same exact website because I have the same exact, not only people, but some of the same words to read off. So, um, great job
You
there.
go to
But,
sportsnot.com.
yeah. But yeah,
I just want to let you know you're raising your hand for something.
yeah, I don't know why that keeps coming up on the Zoom. It keeps saying that. I hope that doesn't come up like on the video for the thing, or else it's gonna look stupid. But anyways, yeah, Mike, great list. Obviously, I have the same, and it was very cool to learn about some of these women. For Storenstam, she shot to prominence in 2003 when she became the first player since Babe Zarias to play in a men's PGA Tour event, and she's the only female player to shoot 59. So she was playing with some of the boys, and also a lot of these golfers. I know that Ben Hogan, who we mentioned was for on my list for one of the best men golfers of all time. He even mentioned that most of these women were like on the same level as like him and the other guys. And I forgot who he said it was for. I think it may have been Mickey Wright. He said that she had like one of the best swings that he had ever seen in his entire life. So big credit there from one of the goats. But yeah, also Patty Berg, she helped form the LPGA. So that was really cool. And all these ladies are goats. But Annika Sorenstam is my goat personally because she was the first name that I read on there. And like you said, 72 LPGA wins. That is like it's actually insane, bro.
That
So
is very impressive.
and I will say that now and even in the past, a lot of the best women golfers have been like international golfers that have came to America. So that's really cool to see
Mhm.
for sure. But that's gonna do it for our Mount Rushmore, the best female golfers of all time. Sorry that it was the same exact list. Great minds just think alike. That's what I hear. So, Michael, we have great, great minds here. Now we're gonna head into our last segment. I'm excited for this one, and this one is gonna be 10 picks because there is a lot to go through. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll just keep doing 10 picks because some of these it's a broad, broad thing that you can do a lot with. And we're gonna make some great teams here. So it's gonna be draft day, all things dogs draft.
Nick, you have
Oh
the
my
first pick.
dude, that's crazy. And I'm not gonna lie to you. When summer hits and I get some free time, I'm gonna go back and watch every single YouTube one and maybe even go to the Spotify and listen to I'm gonna tally it, how many times we've each gotten the first pick. I'm gonna see what happens there.
Hey, but y'all watch me do this. I literally press it and then I just show it after.
Petition to flip the coin. Let's get it going in the
I'll
comments.
flip a coin if you want.
Not today, I'm first today, so
All right. Go ahead.
um all right, so there's a lot of great ones. I don't even know if like the having the first pick even matters truly. But to start us off, I'm just gonna go with one of probably the most iconic dogs of all time, Scooby Doo.
Hmm.
Growing
Man,
up, Scooby Doo's just always been that guy. So,
man, I really wanted Scooby Doo. Not gonna lie. I'm going Snoop Dogg.
hey, that's a good. I didn't even think of it. That's a good one. Damn, that was really good, Mike. Props to
Man,
you.
I thought you would have him. I thought you would have him.
No, honestly. Um, but if we're just gonna go back and forth with some stupid stuff that we have on here, I'm gonna go with he's got that dog in a meme.
Okay, well, dang, I had that on my list. I'm not gonna lie. He's got that dog. All right. All right, well, we cross that one out. For me, mm, give me the hot dog.
That's fire. Pretty good. Um, Give me one of the greatest athletes of all time, Air Bud.
Yep, there you go. I thought I would steal him, not gonna lie. So Buddy the Airbud.
Yeah.
All right, for my next pick, give me give me a fan favorite from my favorite baseball movie, The Beast from The Sandlot.
Oh yeah. That dog, he was feisty, right? So
Hey, he just turned out to be a loving little guy.
yeah, he was like a loving dog at the end, but they were all scared of him. It's like the old
Because
guy
they
too.
saved him. Smalls saved him. Help me, guys, help me.
Great movie. Um, I'm gonna take him while he's still on the board. Um, Jake from Adventure Time.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. I thought you were gonna take someone else. Jake from Adventure Time. I just want to let you know you would have got him at the last pick.
Oh, really? I think he's like one of the chillest dogs
Yeah,
here.
but I probably wouldn't have picked him. There's like a bunch of other ones that like for me I like better. But for my next one, give me Doug from Up.
Yeah, I have him on my list, man. Yeah, great, great, great pick. He's a fan favorite. He's adorable. Like
Yeah, he is.
that's why everybody loves him. Give me corgi races.
Who?
Corgi races where they
Oh,
race the
Corgi
corgis.
races. Yeah. I thought you said Corthy. I was like, who the hell is Corthy? Corgi races.
Yeah,
All
bro. If you guys don't know, corgis are my favorite dogs. So
right. Corgi the Rays. I was expecting you. If you didn't have that on your list, I would have been like, what? Or from
oh
but
wait,
from my
wait. You think I'm saying like just them in general?
yeah.
No, corgi races where they race the corgis.
Oh, Corgi races. Oh, I thought
No, not
oh
like a race. Dogs don't even have races. They're just
no, I just thought like okay. Corgi races. I didn't all right. So with my next one, give me the underdog.
yeah, I was
The
actually
term
thinking about that movie and I was like, that movie
no, not
sucks.
the movie, just the term underdog.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's fair. Give me the puppy bowl.
All right, the Puppy Bowl. All right, hold on. Let me check something. So that's one, two, three, four, five. That's your fifth pick. After five picks, I'm going to go through who we picked, and then we'll continue. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, that was your sixth pick. Here, let me go through the teams real quick. So Team Nick right now is Scooby Doo. He's got that dog in him. Buddy the Airbud, Jake from Adventure Time, Corgi Races, and his sixth pick was the Puppy Bowl. My team so far is Snoop Dogg, the Hot Dog, the Beast from the Sandlot, Doug from Up, and the term underdog in sports. It's my sixth pick. I'm gonna go Slinky from Toy Story.
Solid. All right, so this is my seventh pick, right?
Yeah.
I could probably get snag this later, but Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days.
Dang, yeah, I had that one, dude.
The best Diary of a Wimpy Kid book there is.
Dang, that's a good. I like Roger Rules a little better, but that's from another time. With my next pick, give me. Mm, give me Lady and the Tramp, Disney
Oh,
classic.
that is so sweet.
I know.
All right. Um, how many do I have left?
So that was your seventh, so you have three more.
Jeez, dude, I actually still have a lot that I was gonna pick. Um, give me Marley from Marley and Me.
Oh,
Yeah. I watched that movie whenever I was like a little kid. I don't really remember what happens that much, but I just remember that dog was causing some
dies.
yeah. He was causing some trouble at the beginning, eating up stuff.
Dog. That was one of the first movies that made me like tear up.
Yeah.
I I hate dogs dying in movies, dog. It's just the saddest thing.
Yeah, bro. But that dog's cute, so
With my next pick, give me. There's a couple. I don't. You know what? Give me Snoopy from Charlie Brown.
yeah. It's just a classic dog. So I have two picks left, right?
Yeah. Oh, dang. I have three
Dude.
that I really want. Damn.
Oh my gosh, bro. There's actually okay. Okay. Give me I had this on my list, so I'm gonna pick one. Give me Chop from GTA.
Chop from GP,
I have like a
GTA.
bunch of like dogs and video games, so I might as well pick one of them.
Okay. For my next pick, give me hmm. Give me Goofy.
He's goofy, man. All right, how many are left?
So that one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. This is your last pick.
Okay, I mean I have to since I'm wearing the hat. We had Kayla on. Give me Smokey.
Yeah. I was wondering where that was going when that was gonna get picked.
Well, I mean I
So,
knew you weren't gonna pick it, so
all right, with mine, I have to Bill Belichick's dog drafting.
oh yeah, yeah.
Bill. All right. Let me go over the teams real quick. So Team Nick, Scooby Doo. He got that dog in a meme. Buddy, the Airbud, Jake from Adventure Time, Corgi Races, the Puppy Bowl, Diary of the Wimpy Kid Dog Days, Marley from Marley and Me, Chop from GTA, Smokey, the Tennessee mascot, and Team Mike. I got Snoop Dogg, yeah, the Hot Dog, the Beast from the Sandlot, Doug from Up, the term underdog, Slinky from Toy Story, the movie Lady and the Tramp, Snoopy from Charlie Brown, Goofy, and my last pick was Bill Belichick's dog drafting at the draft.
During the COVID draft. Yeah, I actually that's a great one. I forgot that that happened, and I will give you credit. That Snoop Dogg one that went right over my head. I'm glad that you picked that one. I'm definitely glad that you picked that one. But
That
Just
was
a
the
few
first
more.
thing that came into my mind when you said all things dog. I'm like, oh, I'm getting Snoop Dogg at one.
The first thing that came to mind was he got that dog in him. But just a few that we didn't get to mention. Brian Griffin. Uh,
Yeah. Clifford the
there's
Big Red Dog,
yeah, there's a lot of like cartoon ones that we could have picked. I'm not gonna go
Mr. Peabody.
too much into that. Yeah. But also Baxter from Anchorman. Do you remember whenever
Yeah,
Baxter
yeah,
dies?
yeah. You got the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, I had to.
Spike from Tom and Jerry, the Bulldog from that, and the term Top Dog.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about that one, but I will say that near the end, whenever I was getting kind of iffy, I was thinking about picking Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
I totally forgot about that.
Those those movies were kind of stupid, but I did just accidentally say meme, and that's because I also had Doge on my list. The Doge
Oh, the
meme,
Doge meme.
yeah, and I just kind of I was going back and forth. And then a really late round if I would have had to, just K9 units for
Yeah.
for
When we
police
got if we
officers.
were gonna get boring.
Yeah, if we're gonna get boring, yeah. Because a lot of these would have been boring, like Bolts, like come on. Pretty boring
Bolt
movie. Yeah, so
Bolt is not a boring movie, dog. That movie was great. If you ever say Bolt was a boring movie again, I swear to God, I must slap you. That movie was great.
nah.
Dog, dog, I thought they were gonna die in the
It's
studio.
a like good movie, but it's like
Bro, he's a dog that thought he had superpowers. And when he found out he didn't have superpowers, he still saved the girl with his super
it's
bark.
sad. It's sad. It really is. It's a sad movie. I'm not gonna
But
lie.
he has a dog tattoo.
A what?
He's a dog tattoo. The Bolt.
Oh, yeah. That's a tattoo. They tattooed it on.
No, that's not.
I was about to say, I don't remember that.
No, I
I
just
don't
think it
remember
was
that
a
scene where
tattoo
they
because the
tattooed
bolt
the
they put the
dog.
bolt on him. He didn't come like he wasn't born with that.
It's a birthmark.
That's what he thought.
He was the chosen one.
He's
All
the
right.
chosen dog.
Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for the draft day, all things dogs draft. We're gonna head right into the post game where we can't thank you guys enough for the support as of today. 135 YouTube subscribers. Keep it up. We want to reach 150 very soon. Road to 200. Another thing, my personal Twitter hit over 100 followers today. Make sure you guys are following that at OuttaPocket Nick. And also, we just want to say thank you again for Kayla Holden for coming on the show. Super great lady, super great girl, super great woman, super great golfer. A lot of names can go for her. She's just a great person, and we're so thankful that she was able to come on our show today. And on top of that, make sure you guys are following all of our socials. We definitely love the support, and we're just gonna keep getting you better and better guests. I will say that next week we're still going to be trying our hardest to give you the best content possible, but it will be finals week for me and Michael in college. So not going to be the greatest
My
week.
finals week's the week after.
Oh, really? Well, most of mine are next week, and then I have one the following week. So super busy weeks. It's going to be stressful with studying and giving you guys the best content. So we just want to say thank you for all of your support, and we're never going to give up on giving you guys the best content available. And yeah, Michael, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, just if you ever want to go see a baseball game, football game, concert, you can use our code ATC for $20 off your first purchase only on SeatGeek right there. If you're a little tired going to the game, use some W. Where can you get it? At www.w.gg. Use our code against the call in all caps for 10% off your next purchase. And then if you not know what to wear, maybe your girlfriend doesn't know what to wear. Oh, I don't know what to wear. What do I wear? Oh, I got you. Against the call merch. You can just hit us up and we'll give you our prices and we'll send it to you. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, man. $25 for a t-shirt, not that bad. DM either me and Michael personally. There also our email is out there. Email us if you want one. DM us on Twitter. DM us, quote unquote, being against the call social. You can DM against the call on Instagram, Twitter, any of those platforms, and we will most definitely love to hear that text from you. And other than that, that's going to do it for episode 40 of Against the Call. 40, Michael. Before we know it, it's going to be episode 100, and hopefully we can do something very special for that episode. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.